What's up, everybody? Welcome to Flux Harmonic. I'm David Wilson, and we're back again with another live stream for the August Lisp Game Jam 2023, where we're trying to build a basic solitaire game using the new Guile Hoot toolchain, which compiles Scheme to WebAssembly. Now, so far, we've been writing a lot of JavaScript code, which kind of falls a little outside of the parameters of the competition, but the core of the game itself is written in Scheme. We wrote a decent amount of Scheme yesterday to initialize the game board, to have a shuffled card deck, and have all the piles set up with the randomized cards. But today we're actually going to get into writing some of the game logic in Scheme so that the JavaScript-based renderer plus input can send commands over to the Scheme side for it to execute the commands in the game logic and then return the updated state of the game world so it can be rendered. Now, you may be asking, why do you have to go to all this trouble just to implement what seems to be a simple game? Well, the answer is that Guile Hoot has just been released, the first 0.1.0 release, which doesn't have the ability to call into JavaScript functions outside of WebAssembly land yet. So because of that, I'm having to use a creative approach to sort of invert the logic and call from JavaScript into Scheme running in WebAssembly to access the game logic. It was mainly just an experiment to try out the current state of Guile Hoot and see how everything works, and then be able to give some feedback back to the team at the Sprightly Institute, who is working on this project right now. But it's been a lot of fun so far hacking on this. I've been enjoying it quite a lot. So today we will continue where we left off. So to show you sort of where we're at right now, this is sort of the game board we have. It looks kind of crappy at the moment, but that's because we're doing a game jam and we've only spent 4 hours in this so far. But if I reload the page here, you can see that the cards that are visible keep changing every time. For some reason, this is always a king. Okay, now I finally changed to something else. But yeah, the game board is different every time. These cards up at the top don't currently work, but that's part of what we're going to try to get working today. And if you want to see this game live in your browser, first of all, you need to be running the Chrome Unstable or dev build, because Hoot, or the compiled code from Hoot that is WebAssembly, needs access to pre-release features of WebAssembly that's only available in the latest versions of browsers and not fully available yet. So if you have Chrome Unstable installed, you should be able to load up this page in the README of the repo. Check the description below. The links to the repo and to the game are both there. And if I were to copy this link and drop it into Chrome, you'll see that the game does load up just the same. So that's where we're at right now. The game gets automatically published every time I make a commit to the repo. So after we get done with the stream today, you'll be able to see the latest changes live on the website. So we'll see how far we get. I may also have to drop off suddenly if I have to help my sleeping child in the other room. I'm watching her on my phone right now, so we'll see what happens, but I think this should be fine. All right, so let me get started. So let's get back into the Scheme code. And if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer them. So where we got yesterday is we have a few functions that are related to dealing with the deck information. Unfortunately, because Hoot does not have access to the rand function in JavaScript yet, which is just a temporary limitation. I mean, I could add it myself if I wanted to, but I wanted to just deal with the current state of the world. Because it doesn't have rand, I can't pick random numbers, which means I can't shuffle the deck in the Scheme code. So what I actually had to do is to build a shuffle deck inside of JavaScript. I'm encoding that as one big string with certain encoding of the individual cards, like H for hearts, D for diamonds, S for spades, C for clubs, and then all of the different possible ranks of the cards those would be. So I just generate one big string, and then I take that over into Scheme. I turn that from a string into a list of cards, and then I have a function to distribute the cards to the various piles that you see on the screen here, and then we have our basic initial state of the world. Now from here, what we need to do is have a way so that whenever I click on a card and try to move it to another pile, like let's say if I wanted to move this 5 of clubs onto the 6 of hearts, I can convey that desired move over to the Scheme code from JavaScript, and then the Scheme code will decide if that is a valid move, and if it is, it will return either an acknowledgement that it happened, or maybe it will return the updated state of the world. I haven't exactly decided yet how far I want to go with that, or if it's necessary, but we will we'll take a look at it and see how hacky it ends up being. Maybe it won't be too bad. Okay, So for the communication between the two layers, I was thinking yesterday that I want to have another kind of like basic string encoding for the actions that the player might take. So what we might do is something like a string of m p for move pile. Let's say in this example, pile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this would be moving from pile. I need also to get the offset as well, because you might want to move card number 6 over this or whatever. Anyway, point being, I want to move from pile, what is that, 5? Pile 5 to pile 3. So 5 to 3. So MP53, move pile 5-3, but we may need an offset. So that offset may be like an optional number at the end. So it could be, this would be, I guess, 0, but maybe 1, 2, 3, etc. going up from the last card. So that would sort of determine what the desired move is. So if we wanted to move, is there a valid move in this? Move this 8 over here to the 9, then we would need a way to describe that. So that would be MP7, 2, and maybe 1, 2, I would say. So we could say something like that, but you know, that last part is optional, effectively. So that would be for a move from a pile to another pile. In fact, I think I need to do this. And maybe I'll move this here, because I also need to encode moves from piles to foundation. So so if I want to move, let's say there's an ace here that I wanted to move up to foundation, I would need to indicate that. So move pile, what would that be? Let's say if it was number 3, move pile 3 F1. So if I want to move it to foundation 1, that would be the way to do that. So that's moving those two places. We also need to move from the stock to somewhere. So we could say maybe move from stock, and we're going to assume the stock is just whatever's at the top of the stock, so we don't need to be very specific. So move stock to pile 1, or it could be move stock to foundation 3, let's say, or 4. So those are the sort of the encodings we would have so far. So each string would be read left to right, and the code that handles that would probably progressively go into different functions to deal with the different kind of moves. And then as a result of that, we may need to send back the state of the game world. I'm trying to think of what I don't want is the client to get out of sync, and I also don't want the client to have to know too much about where things need to be rendered. It needs to be more of a dumb client. It's just there for rendering and for input. So if I were to send back information about where a card ended up, Also, if I want to do animations, like let's say if I want the cards to actually move to that position, I would need to, well, I mean, I guess it already knows where it's supposed to go, so it's really just an acknowledgement of whether it's there or not. Let's just start with acknowledging for now. It's either good or bad. Like it either can happen or it can't happen. And then if it doesn't work out so well, we'll switch back. Could also be we do like checkpointing, where every now and then, like after 2 or 3 moves, we resync the board state, but we may not need to do that. Also, we could just ask for the board state after every move. I mean, could be fine. All right, so if we want to interpret one of these, we need a function, first of all. So define handle move, or no. Is it always moves? Like, what else would it be? We may have undo also. So like if we say undo, it could just be a letter U. But that would probably need to say what the move was so that the board state can be popped back to previous version. But we'll deal with that later. Okay, so handle command, let's call that command. So let, let's see, command is, what would be substring, I think. substring command 0, 1. Or can I just do a ref? Maybe I should just do a ref. String ref command 0. Then I can switch on that with a case. So instead, I can just do this instead. Same thing I was doing before. So M. And then if I get to this one and say else error unexpected command. I don't know if I can pass more things to error. I do go into the code here sometimes. Okay, it looks like it has an irritant value, so that's good. Unexpected game command. All right, let's get rid of this let here. Don't really need that anymore. And this one, maybe I'll have a separate function, handle move. Whoops. So I'll just take whatever is next, the rest of the string effectively. And for handle move, we need to do the decomposition of the string that we mentioned before. So it's either going to be a pile or a, well, no, actually, we could do a movement from a foundation too, I think. So move from foundation 1 down to, yeah, it could be a move to a pile only. So it would be a move to a stack because there's no way to do that. To pile 6, let's say. So things like that. Move from foundation 1 to pile 6. Also, we need to have a command for draw. We need to draw a new card from the stock. So then we probably need to do, we don't really need to have a function for that. Maybe we do. Draw a card. Because that's going to do some mutation. This may also do some mutation. May not need to be too literal about all this. So draw a card wouldn't have any parameter because it's just a command to draw a card. Though, for drawing a card, we don't know what card shows up yet, so we may need to have some way to return the card that appears. So we'll have to think about that one. Maybe a draw. Well, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm overcomplicating this. Maybe we don't need to do all this stream parsing. We can actually have explicit API functions that you can call into, since we can call functions. So for instance, define move card source dest. And then that could be an encoding like the one we have here. And then draw card could also return the type of card that appeared, which could be helpful for, so H4, let's say, I don't know, just as an example. So that would return the type of card that appeared. Move card could return true or false, let's say. So let's not even do that anymore. But this would still be valid, like the move syntax, I think would still be valid. Because I mean, I could have specific functions like move, pile, card, etc., but maybe that's not necessary. Maybe that would be the parameters. And it may still be that we do it another way entirely. Like, since it's all integers, we could do this as anything We could do number ranges instead. We'll think about that a little bit as we go on. Okay. So, yeah, what we would return from these functions is relative to what the action is. We could also do an undo, define undo. And that, I don't know what would... what that would return yet, but we can figure that out. Now, also, we need to return the functions from the API. I'm looking at something I had to do before, game API. Oh, that was in JavaScript. Okay, never mind. So get pile state, what was it? Move card. And it was draw card. And there was one other, wasn't there? Undo. Undo action. All right. So back in the JavaScript side, I can pull those functions out as well. So let's just grab those. Get pile state, move card, draw card, undo action. Okay. Now for the API, we probably need to pass those in as part of the game API, so I can do the same thing here. In fact, let's go down and copy those. I'll also drop them in right here. And then up here, game API. I'm having to do this because I'm kind of like capturing the game state as a closure. What's your problem? Oh, the lack of comma. Okay. Cool. Draw a card. Ooh. Does this work? Yeah, should work. Okay. I think. JavaScript object destructuring rename. Yeah, is that the original? I'll call it FB. Okay. I think it's backwards. That makes sense. Okay. So now we can call those functions inside of our code. And also there's another thing I wanted to change. I had, let's see, what was it? Dex string, new game call dex string. There's another call, get pile state. Here I did something dumb. I think this needs to be string. Let's go to JS runtime, reflect, string. Whoops, what did I just do? There's a function I need to convert a string to a string, I think, or to extract it. Basically, I had made a mistake, I think, in my previous code. I was pulling this as an array index, but I don't think it's an array index. I think I need to use a function to draw that out. So piles from string. I don't know if that's the right one. Let me check the no, that's not it. In this JavaScript code for sure. Oh, okay. So output is process call. Oh, okay. That's weird. Should be right, but maybe it is. Okay. So now, question is, how do we actually try this out? I need to implement a little bit of input logic first. So if I were to click a card at a given location, I don't really want to do clicking. Like I mentioned before, I want to do like a keyboard-based control, but that's going to be a little bit difficult to implement everything for that in one session. Clicking is somewhat easier. I still need to do like bounds checking. So anytime someone clicks in here, I need to look at the position where the mouse is and figure out which card they've clicked, which is not that bad, but not perfect either, because I have to just like scan all of the positions of the cards. I think there's an easier way to go about that. If I do use keys, it might make things easier. Hey, Glenn. So if I use keys, I may not have any kind of indicator that something has been selected. I could do something though. Maybe I could put like a little pop-up somewhere just to make it obvious. So this will not be a game that you can play with your mouse or finger just yet. We'll start with the keyboard keys. All right, so on a canvas, let's see, JavaScript, canvas, keyboard input. So this is probably just like stupid simple. Yeah, get out of here. Add event listener. Oh boy. Key press. I don't know if I want the entire one. Okay, get element by ID. Cool. So let's go into our init. I think I'm getting the canvas already. Attach a key handler to the canvas. It needs to be a function. That has access to all this stuff. Yeah, let's see. Const key handler. Well, it doesn't even need to be like that. Let's just do the dumb way. So document. No. Canvas dot add event listener. Key down. Maybe I don't want to key down. Can I do like key up? JavaScript key up. No, key up on key up. Okay, cool. Go back. MDN is better source. Key up. All right, cool. That's the one we want. Event. So then we can look at key codes. Now, the event listener should call a function that can manipulate the game state, but I think we don't have. Maybe I should pass that in so we can register inside of this. So let's pass in the canvas. In fact, we could probably pull the canvas width, canvas height off of the object and not have to pass those in. But let's just, you know, start game loop. Let's just do this a smart way. Okay, so canvas. We'll put canvas right here. And then here, we'll attach a key handler that can do all the event handling. Why are you not happy? Oh, yeah. So we can log out the event, console.log, event.key code, just to see what's happening. And then we'll go back to our game and reload, pull up the console. Hey, Dave. All right, so I'm not seeing any output just yet. Let's make sure it did reload though. Sources, main, key up. Okay, so it should have worked. So we're passing canvas in to start game loop. Canvas is there. Canvas.add event listener. Let me make sure I did that right. Yeah. Key up event. So I wonder if there's something else that needs to happen for canvas. HTML, canvas, key up event. Oh, is there another parameter to add event listener? The third parameter is use capture before being dispatched to any event target beneath it. Okay. I would say yes, right? But I don't know for sure. Whoa, what did I just do? Not actually working, is it? Well, let's try a key down. I figure. Interesting. Why is it not working? Yeah, HTML canvas. Should I return something? Is that what the problem is? Oh, no? It's kind of weird. What's happening? HTML canvas key down not working. Very specific. Canvas needs to be in focus. Get out of here, man. I'm so tired of these pop-ups. Bring the canvas to focus. Oh, do I have to do that manually? Mouse down? Put the event handler on document. Yeah. That's probably the right way to do it. It would be better, but it's not working the way that I would expect it to. Like, it says, okay, you need to click on the element or have it be focused first before... But see, it seems to be focusing on the text up here instead of the canvas itself, which is strange. So let's just do that instead. I mean, not great. I guess I don't need to even pass it then if I'm just going to do document. All right, so. Okay, so now, oh. Deprecated, all right. There we go. I want it to be key up. So then what is the alternative? Oh, it's code, all right, fine. Okay, cool. That's even better. Is that a string? So if, well, let's do switch. Switch event.code key A. This is going to be home row Vim style. Now, what is your problem? Case or default expected? Yeah, sure, default. Oh, case, yes, that's right. I'm forgetting what language I'm in. Console.log A pressed. I don't need a default because okay. Cool. Sweet. So now we can get some basic key bindings going. So really what I want to do is home row keys. Let's see. There's 7 piles, right? So what I was thinking is that I don't know if I want to start with A or S. So if we say like ASD is piles 1 through 3. Then JKL semicolon, because I'm going from like home row position where the little nubs are on the keys. Piles 4 through 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 4. All right, and then let's just call this bindings. So then once you have selected one of the piles through one of the keys, then you need to select maybe one of the keys in rank, and there could be all the way up to 13 cards in a pile. It could be like the entire king all the way down to ace. So if you do that, then how do we represent that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Trying to think of like what keys would be effective for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Has to make sense. I suppose I could just like tap the key to select something in the range. So like if you keep pressing the same key, it would rotate which one it's on. We could start with that maybe and see how well it goes, because you don't need to press the key again unless you really want to select ones up the chain. So press letter multiple times to select other cards in stack. Maybe we can say that the F key is a cancel current selection. This may not be completely sensical. Then for these keys up here, for like drawing a new card, we could say maybe even like G is draw. But maybe that's too much of a reach for the fingers, so I could say maybe E. And then for the piles, I could just use the keys that are above the home row on the right hand. So it would be UIOP, select stack. So these keys are all selection keys. Oh, I also need a key for selected from the stock. So maybe R is to select the cards, the stock key. All right. Someone says in the chat, today I've learned that pointer events do both mouse and touch stuff. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so let's get this started. We'll just drop in a bunch of key handlers. All right, so ASD. Okay, ASD, and we probably need some functions for dealing with these. So function handle selection key, I don't know. I want a good generic way to deal with this. Target. So we're selecting something from the, we're selecting a pile. I mean, we could say P1, but then we have to decode this information inside the handle selection function. So I don't know that I really want to do that. All right. I mean, I could do an object, which would make it a little bit more flexible. So in this case, pile is one, foundation. Okay, so we have a target now. So target is target dot pile. I guess we could do it like that. Let's remove this to keep the syntax check happy. All right, so that's ASD, J, whoops, K, L. Now, semicolon, does that actually show up right? Let's go back here and print it out again. Console.log, event.code, semicolon, okay. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, okay. So that gives us the pile selection. Now we want to add the, we can also do something like key F. Target, we say none is 0 to say that's more or less a cancellation. Peckley says, I thought you'd be working at this time. You mean for my job? Yeah. I have been working for my job. This is like my afternoon. Okay, so handle selection, we'll say for this one, there's no index needed. We'll say target none. I don't like having to do the returns all over the place. So that's F, E. So E is draw. That's a different thing. We need to call draw next card. Okay, and then we need also R, which is to select a stock. Okay, so that gives us those keys. Now we can do the same for the UIOP. Oh, we already have them here. All right. Okay, so this is going to be foundation. Guess I should have done that the whole time, huh? One, two, three, four. Piggle says, this is JavaScript, right? Is it worth learning for a first proper programming language? Yeah. I mean, JavaScript is pretty straightforward, and you can do quite a lot for game development in the browser. I'm using the HTML Canvas APIs, and they're very easy to use. So certainly recommend JavaScript as a first language if you haven't really coded before. You can get pretty far with it. All right, so pile, foundation. Okay. So at least that gives us our button handling. I'll just comment that out for now. Okay. So now we should have all of our key handling in here. So if target.target guess I could do a switch on that too, huh? Case is target.none. Return. Case is target.piles. Now, this is the point where we have to call into scheme. So we want to move a card. So we would call move card. And then this needs to send a parameter that's based on the type of target. Also the destination. See, we haven't done that yet. We've only done a selection. So this is not going to call move card yet. We're only going to do a selection. So if you select, let's say you select 9 here, that just sets a selection for the source card. And if you select 10, then that's the destination card. So we need to keep some intermediate state. So const, actually it's going to be constant. Let current selection. Yeah, we could just save that. So we could say it's target none by default. Okay. And if the target is something else, well, let's do this. There's a JavaScript version of the structure interpretation of computer programs. Yeah, I saw that. I haven't actually read it, but that's cool. Okay, so we'll just set that to none directly. For piles, let's see. It's basically the same thing, right? We're just going to set current selection. So really, we're just checking to make sure that the target is valid. So if current selection and current selection dot target is not equal to target.none. Well, let's just assume that current selection will always be set because we're not going to clear it. Else, there is already a selection, send a move to the game logic. And we need to do that too. So here, console.log, unexpected selection type, or target. Let's say that. Actually, let's just say it's unexpected selection, or unhandled selection. Okay. None, piles, foundation. Stock also is a selection, so we should put that there too. Stock. Cool. Now, if there is a selection, then we need to calculate what the move is. So if current selection dot target equals, well, let's switch on that. Current selection dot target. Wait. So let's double check this. If current selection dot target is none, then we want to check which one it is so we can set it, right? But if it's not, we want to set it to none. If current selection is none, well, no. Just leave it the way it is. So we need to call move card here, I think. Same thing for foundation. Fikri says, where do you find the documentation for Solitaire game? I'm doing it basically from my own understanding of playing the game, really. The terminology I found from looking at the Klondike Solitaire Wikipedia page, but that's the rest of it I'm just sort of doing it on the fly. So we can't move something to the stock. So that needs to be some kind of error. But we also need to set the current selection back to no selection. So let's make a const no selection equals. Let's treat that like a constant. Okay. So if the pile is a destination, that's fine. If a foundation is destination, that's fine. If the stock is destination, that's an error. And that's it, right? So handle selection, targets, stock, pile, foundation. Piles. What did I call that? Okay, so this should be target.pile. Okay, this is wrong too. Okay. So I think I could probably collapse those two into one. Yes, Wikipedia does have the laws of Solitaire. That's right. Cool. So for moving a card, move card, we need to move from the source to the destination. So hold up. This needs to be selection.target, right? Well, no, that's not right. We're looking at the current selection because we want to compare the source to the destination. So for move card, if, well, target dot, sorry, selection dot target. No. Actually, maybe I need to interpret selection, current selection, interpret selection, or encode, let's say, selection. That probably works. And what did I say before with the action kinds? So pile to pile, pile to foundation, stack to pile. That is a move that would be valid. So if the current selection is stock, this is not an error case. It could be moved to a pile, that's for sure. if selection selection.target is not equal to target.stock, then move the card. This would be just S. If selection.target maybe this should just be like outside of everything, right? 'Cause nothing can be moved to a stock, so maybe we can just get rid of that. And then this could be an error case. Yes, move card is defined in the Guile scheme part of the code. All right, that's a lot of JavaScript again, unfortunately, but that's what had to be done. I mean, I suppose, you know, could I have written all this in scheme? I mean, I could have pushed the event information down into scheme, but then the JavaScript code would not exactly know what to do on the client side, but maybe I should have done it. We can rewrite it. Let's get it working first, I'd say, because I don't want to have to go through this. I'm making you feel bad? Yes. I don't want to be writing on the JS either. It's just the easiest thing to do. I should have done it. I should have passed that along, though. Now I think about it, I should have passed it along. It would have been better. Yeah, let's start with this. Let me think. So what I need to do this weird encoding stuff. I'm trying to see if I can course change really quickly. If I just send a key, I can easily switch on the key type in scheme, and I can manipulate the cards directly. So then I can change the game state, no problem, in the scheme side. But then how do I communicate the actual change the game state back to the game? I either send the whole state back, or I send like the current new state. Picker says, as far as I know, you only need JavaScript to set up the event handler to interact with the DOM. I also need it to render the game, because I don't have access to JavaScript functions from within scheme at the moment. All right, let's take a look. If I go that route, I'll need accessor closures to get set what you need. Can I do that? Can I pass a JavaScript function into scheme and call it? If I could pass a JavaScript function into scheme to call it to do something, that would be a lot better, actually. You can't? Okay. Unfortunate. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's a point in time issue, not a limitation of Hoot long term. Might be able to architect around it. Yeah, that's the idea. Just try to do something, get around it. So I don't really need to expose these functions, but let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. So how about I make another function? Define handle input key. Dave says, I have scheme to JS to scheme callbacks working in a branch. Well, all I need is if JavaScript calls a scheme function, for the scheme function to be able to call back into JavaScript. But that I can see why that wouldn't work so easily right now either. Because there's the mapping that has to be done for the values. In fact, I don't even know how you'd do that. All right, so handle input. Maybe I can just comment this out for the moment. All this typing we did. Event code, because I don't really care. We'll just let the scheme handle the code string. This needs to be .call. I suppose I could just return the updated game state as a result of this handle input function, but it would have to be encoded as a string for now. Okay, so if I have that, do I have a function called handle input already? No. Cool. So let's forget about the selection stuff, and then inside of main.scm, let's just write out what comes here. So I can do the whole PK thing, right? Key. And then let's go into compile. Yes. Just out of curiosity, let's see if it actually does anything. Handle input is not defined. Oh, did I miss? Did I put this inside the closure? It's the same level, right? Handle input. Okay, I didn't extract it here. Okay, handle input. Okay, cool, debug. So it is coming across now. The scheme layer is getting the keys whenever I press them. All right, good. So let's rewrite this code, huh? Handle input. So case, right? Okay, so case key. Let me pull up the JavaScript code we wrote side by side. Handle selection. And we can have some state. So current selection. I'll say that it's going to be... Oh, what did I just do? Man, Lispy is really killing me right now. We have that being coded like this. Okay, so current selection, non-zero. Now handle input. The key that gets pressed can be a number of different things. We have our add event handler or add event listener. So we have some, we had some switch code here as well. So I should probably dispatch in the same way, define handle selection key. In fact, I think I was, yeah, let's do that. Let's just rewrite it. Probably won't take that long. So for the key, I need to check for key F. Oh, that's to set the, So the nice thing with scheme, well, it's not gonna work that cleanly. can make this more concise, I think, but let's just get it working first. So key F is going to be handle selection pile 1. That's not right. What was that? A, right? A. A, S, D. That's 2, 3. And J. K, L, and semicolon. This is 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that gives you those. And then we want to do the foundation cards. So let's just steal 4 of those as well. Drop down right here. This would be UIOP. And this is foundation. Actually, let's do this. And then this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Also had a couple keys at the top here. One was for selecting none, which is F. And then there was E. Come on. Okay, so E was to draw the next card, so... And then R was to do the stock selection. Okay. So that's our simple little system for doing key handling. And maybe at the end here, I can write out the current selection. So current selection, and for now, let's say handle selection just sets the current selection. So set current selection to selection, and then we can go recompile and reload our code. What is that? Key P cannot be meaningfully compared using equivalent. Uh-oh. So I can't do string comparisons here? That might be troublesome. I'll have to use cond instead, potentially. I could define a syntax, but I don't want to really go through all that right now. Okay, so... yeah, it's not checking the logic correctly. Okay. So... cond... man... is it going to be equal? Yes, string. This is just going to be equal. Okay, so equal. I could do some kind of dispatch even. I could have like a list of bindings. Let's just do some copy pasta here. I think this will work, right? Comes a little bit more ugly. Oh, okay, there's a string comparison bug. Maybe it won't matter here. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, what? Somehow it compares A correctly. If a string is greater than B, Hoot says are equal. Uh-oh. Okay, so I don't want to have to update Hoot for this. So maybe, man. That's okay. If I can turn these into an integer somehow. Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. I could turn it into a number somehow. Okay. So maybe there's a middle point between this code. Map the keys and numbers in JS. They should still have those code numbers, right? Keyboard event. Key? Wait a minute, hold on. Yeah, that's right. I could do my own for sure. So what does key give me? Does key give me something else? Let's see. Am I not printing that out? Of course not. I'm still writing out the key. Is there not a numeric identifier anymore? Key identifier? No, oh, you're right. Thank you, Fikri. All right, still the same problem. I mean, it's you know, I could do character comparisons. Maybe that's the way to do it, huh? Since it will only be character keys, I have to make sure I'm not holding shift or anything. So character compare should work, I would think, right? In the prelude, I would guess that char would pass through equivalent. I mean, we're literally dealing with keys here, so why not? What was that? A? I should probably just write them out before I delete the string. Yeah, roll my own string comparison. Yeah, this is what you get whenever you start using very pre-release versions of things, but that's fine. That's why we're doing this. This is it's an exercise. Come on now. Semicolon. Hopefully Hoot can read that. I'll have to do it 2 lower on that probably. P? All right, cool. So now, let's see what happens if I send key instead. Actually, I am sending key already in the JavaScript code. So go back to JS here, event.key. Cool. Let's recompile, see what happens. Illegal cast. Yeah. I didn't turn that into a character. So if I, this needs to be case again, and this also needs to be string ref key 0. Yeah. No, not in a console. Hey, it's working. That one's not right. Oh, H. Okay, yeah, H is not a valid key. Boom, 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 boom. All right, U, I, O, P, E, R. Okay, I think we're good. So we see the selection at the end. All right, good. I mean, this is better in the end. It's better to actually have this be happening in Scheme. So now that we have the input handling, we have handle selection being called. We can replicate the logic of handle selection that we had here before. So if, let's see, equivalent, I guess symbol comparison should work. If it doesn't, then I'll have to use an integer or number, which is fine. Let's see what happens. If equivalent car of current selection is none, then we have some work to do in here, but let's just return T for now. Otherwise, already a selection, calculate the move, set the current selection. Sort of that sort of tells us what we're doing. And then we want to do handle selection on this side, I think, in every case. Let's not do any real checking of errors here for now. In fact, we could probably just drop this back to being only the set, just for the moment. Just assume that whatever it is fine. And then for the next one, we need to do some comparisons. So I can do another case, right? Case on the car of selection.target. No, I need to check if it's not that first. So if So if it's not stock, if the current selection, the new selection is not stock, then I should do this logic I had before. That's where the case comes in. Maybe I should have done a let here. So case target. If it's a pile, then, well, really, if it's anything. No. And we can have different logic here because we have more context on the board. I guess current selection and selection would be good enough. And here I could say stock. I mean, really, probably just this, right? And this case could be inside the move card function. So if not Otherwise, error. And I'll say what the current selection is the irritant. Not really, but you know. Okay, so move card now is here. And this is the point where we can actually start manipulating the game state. So we have to check whether the move is valid. So the logic, let's see. Hello to Irisari, if that's how you pronounce your name. Okay. I mean, it's kind of a lame way to do that comparison. In fact, let me check what I did here. So piles is a vector of lists, foundations is a vector of lists, stock is a list, and I think we'll just be doing, we'll be peeking at maybe there's a drawn card that needs to be held, because a stock is a stack, and then we need to take cards from there to make it the drawn card. So we have the index of the source and the destination. We have the category of the, or I guess a target, we have that. So if target, wait. Okay, so if equivalent source target, because I don't want to be calling car a whole bunch of times. If equivalent source target is pile, in fact, maybe we don't need this whole case after all. Let's just, you know, keep things simple. So if the source target is pile, for now, let's just deal with moving from a pile to another pile. How about that? So not only do we need to check what the source is, we need to check what the destination is. So a pile can move to another pile, a pile can move to the foundation. A foundation can move to a pile. You can try to move a foundation to another foundation, but it won't work. It would just be an invalid move, which is probably fine. We could just like absorb that. So we don't need two code paths necessarily. Just trying to like mentally process this for a second. So if equivalent dest target is a foundation, we have different logic than for moving to a pile. So if we're going to write this in a really dumb, naive way, and then we're going to fix it. So if the coder of source Okay, we need to check the... Oh. We need to look up what the card is first. We need to know what the card is. So what we'll do is source card and dest card, because we need to have those two pieces of information. Each card is encoded as a const pair. I need to remember what the... Let's see, it's a string ref, deck string, so it's a string. It's a character, so it's a character representing the suit, and then it's a number representing the rank, I believe. So for... Wait, I'm in the prelude right now. Let's do this. Define card suit card, just to make this a little bit clearer in the code. Okay, so we got functions for the card suit, card rank. And now if we go back to, what function was that again? Move card, okay. Find card, we'll do it based on selection. I think that should be sufficient. So source, how about we just make that src so that the variable naming conventions are similar. All right. So find card dest as well. Hey, Kites. I'm distracting you, huh? I'm sorry. All right, so if equivalent card selection is pile, we need to look in the piles list. Let's see. Piles is a vector, so vector ref. Yeah, we need to offset also. I forgot about that one. Damn. The pile can have an offset. That needs to be managed. So should this be then a list instead of a pair? Because we can't do a struct. Okay. Also, handle selection needs to be a little bit smarter, because what we said is that if there's already a selection, increment the offset. And that's only for a pile, actually. It wouldn't be the same for a foundation, so it's only for that one. Okay. Let's just get the basics working first, then we'll deal with everything else. No offsets yet. Okay, so for finding the card, if car selection is pile, vector ref piles, cooter selection is the index. That is to select the pile. Now let's just return, well, how am I representing that? Is the first card the topmost? It probably needs to be, actually. So, yeah. I don't know how I did that in the code, but let's just call that car for now. It needs to be like a stack where it's, yeah, it really is a stack. I mean, if you think about it, this is a stack, and this is the topmost card on the stack. So let's just treat it like a stack. So that gives me the pile. If it's a foundation, let's just assume that the other possibility is foundation, then vector ref, same deal. Because it is a stack there too. Okay. Makes sense. Cool, cool, cool. I should probably also have define selection index selection return cooter selection. So I'm not doing all this funky stuff. Makes the code a little bit more verbose, but that's okay. We want it to be clearer. Okay. Let's just drop this down a little bit. All right, so this should find the card for now to do handle pile offsets. So now let's check, we were here. Find card source, find card dest. That should work now. So we should have a source card, a destination card. And then if the source is a pile and the dest is a foundation, then if card suit. Dave, do you know if symbol comparisons work correctly? Like, can I use equivalent on two symbols and make sure they're the same one? Are they interned or something? EQ should work? Okay. And also, we need to check that the suit is equal. And card rank, source card, is equal to 1 minus card rank dest card. This is going to be, I need to like probably print some stuff out on that to make sure. And for this if, ooh, and also the foundations may not have any cards there yet. So if the foundation has no card, so how would I know? The dest card, find card could say If it returns an empty? Yeah, because it'd be empty. Okay, so we'll find the foundation that we're looking for. And then when we have it, if null, otherwise return the first card in the foundation. Let's just try it that way first. This is moving slower than I hoped. Let's just run it, see what happens. Wrong number of arguments to move card, thank you. Okay, yep. Am I only calling move card then? Oh, that's not right. So I'm not calling move card anywhere else. Handle selection, oh, there it is, okay. Delete this from the console so it's not confusing. All right, let's say if I want to move a card from A to U. Okay, so it did something through an error. Wrong type arg. Wrong argument in position 1, expecting pair. It's an empty. So that makes sense. Can I find out where in my code it happened? Can't see the stack trace. Doesn't really tell me. Okay. So I'm not sure exactly which line that's on, but we'll find it. So handle selection, let me just write that out. PK selection, and I think I was printing out somewhere else, wasn't I? No, okay. No. All right, so selection pile 1, selection foundation 1, cool. So now we move into, let's see, equivalent car current selection. Let's say selection target here. Oh, no, I got it set. That's right. What if I do F? Yeah, okay, so F works, right? So this is probably okay. Selection target. Let's do a PK selection target. Just to make sure that it's getting that far. Okay, selection targets foundation. Cool, so it's getting that far at least. Maybe we're in move card then. So PK move car, oops. Source dest. I should probably be doing this in a REPL for sure. Okay, so move card, pile foundation. All right, so we got to this point. Maybe find card is doing something weird. So selection target selection, if it's equivalent to pile, let me check the EQ here instead. Vector ref piles selection index selection. I got to embrace the REPL. Well, right now I'm just trying to get things working. So turning on the REPL, it requires a little bit of extra work for Hoot at the moment. Yes, I did see what Andrew's doing with Guile REPL. It's looking good. Move card, pile 1, foundation 1. Let me write out. That might be the place where it's going wrong, like locating those basically. Okay. It is empty then. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Card suit. So I need to check for empty first. So dest, target, foundation, and if card suit, well, let's just start with an or dest card. Yikes. So that would be considered a valid move. That's probably the place where we need to be. It didn't write out this valid move though. Is display not working? Maybe it's not flushing because I didn't put a new line at the end. Probably should just use PK for those two. Yeah, valid move. Okay, cool. So at least we can check if a card moving from a pile to a foundation is valid, or at least for the dumb case. Which is the foundation is empty. Now let's look at the other branch, which is if equal dest target is pile. We need to do a similar thing. Well, slightly similar. If. So we don't want to see a null because, well, okay. Depending on the type of card, you could be moving an ace. We need that, but let's not deal with that yet. So if yeah, that's actually cool. All right. Using stacks for this is actually going to be pretty nice, I think. All right, so now I needed to do a slightly different check. Let's say and source card, dest card. So we need a function for that. So we need the card suit of source card. We need the card suit of dest card. And we need to look at actually, maybe what I need is a card color. So let's get rid of that. So case, card, suit, card. And we're gonna look at, wait, is it a character? I think it's character, right? So H or hearts and diamonds are red, right? So diamonds, hearts are red, and the others are black. And then spades and clubs are black. And then anything else? I forgot the... there's a syntax for pulling the value out of the else case. Is it that? Okay, so card color, that's a bit better now. So move card, go back into the move card definition, and not equal. Okay, so if the colors are not equal and the rank source card go to the end of this and. Okay, so now valid move from pile to pile. Let's see if this is actually going to give us a valid output. Okay, bad use of arrow. Whoops. Scheme case else. Oh, come on. Look at the Guile. Oh, it's a procedure. Else. Resulting procedure is applied to the value of key. The result of this procedure application is then... Yes, but I'm trying to pass the value to it, but really I don't need to do that. I'll just... do this. A... card rank. Yep. All right. Whoops, wrong place. Let's see. Do we have any valid moves? We have 6 and 7. So if I say J, which is pile 4, and then D, which is pile 3, it didn't tell me whether there's a valid move or not. Bound cards. So if source target, let me just write a little thing out here. So 5 and 6. Huh. Weird. And the cards are, I don't think that's right. That's not right. Something's busted. So 3 to, so that would be D to L. No, that's not right at all. Maybe something is wrong with how I'm storing the card information. Something's busted. Because I'm expecting to see a H3 and a C4, but I'm seeing a D7, D6. Where are those even? 6 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds. Okay. There's a couple things that are wrong. First of all, this offset is wrong. And it's taking the ones at the top of the list. So I need to reverse those whenever they get created. Let's see. Deck string to list. When I do the distribute cards, vector set, piles, index, pile is what? Let inner loop pile, vector ref, piles, index. I need to reverse that, I think. So if I call reverse, that might work. All right. So 3 to 4. So AS. AS. Diamonds of 7. Hearts of 5. What the? Yeah, that's really wrong. Oh, it's still the same problem. It's flipped. I think it's because the... Damn it. Let's just see what we get here. H1 is ace. Okay, H1 3 5. I don't want that. I want it to be the other way around. So let me check that. Maybe it was right the way that it was. And it's possible that 10 7. Yeah. I think that the way that the JavaScript code is storing these is backwards, because this should potentially be index 0. Or not. I'm trying to think of how this would work in practice. Like, the visual representation is backwards from what the actual in-memory representation is for the cards. So this is why there's some confusion here. Also, I think the indexes I'm using for these are all wrong. So I need to say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0, 1, 2, 3. So that will solve that particular issue, but then JavaScript needs to render it the way that it looks in memory. So draw card. So in memory for JavaScript, the first item in the stack is the topmost card. So in JavaScript, I think an array should have the last item be the topmost element, so that we're moving things around a little bit more effectively in JavaScript land. So I need to draw these backwards, I think. So J needs to be num cards. This needs to be greater than or equal to 0. This needs to be J minus minus. Let's try that. Ooh. Well, that's busted. I think this needs to be num cards -1. Okay, that's definitely not working. Yeah. Let's back this up. I think what I'll do instead is num cards -J. Yuck. That's still messed up too. So num cards. It's missing the last one. Is it not giving me any error? So num cards is the length of the pile. If there's one card, then 1 minus 0. So maybe this is wrong. Oops, nope, no, don't do that. All right, maybe that's right. Okay, so now let's look at this. Ooh, that's still not right, is it? That's really strange. So 6. Okay, I don't know what I'm thinking, but this is right. Let's go back to, where was I calling reverse? Pile is, all right, so this does not need to be reversed. The first stack is 9 of clubs. Second stack is 10 of hearts. Okay. So I should be able to move the first one to the second one. Let's try that now. A, S. So nine of clubs, heart of 8. No, that's not right. So I think the ingestion may be wrong. Maybe that's what the problem is. When we read the deck string to a list, yeah, it's not matching up. Because this one's right, but this one is picking 8 when it should be picking 10. And I'm pulling the car of the list, which means that the car should be 10 and not 8. So that means that they're getting put in reverse order somehow. So if I were to put, let's say, semicolon L, it finds heart of 9. What? And a club of 9? That's not even right. Where's the club of 9? Whoa, 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 that's the wrong index somewhere. Okay, we got some problems here. Maybe when I do find card, I should print out the pile that it comes from. All right, so the source card would be the last stack, in theory. Spade of 1, which is ace. Club of 3. Okay. And then this is club of 3, heart of 11. Okay, so they are backwards when they're getting stored originally in the list. Okay. That's the only place vector set's being called. Let me do a reverse here, because that seems to be right. Yeah, it's wow. What is happening? That's not right. Does reverse not work? Cool, there it is. Yeah. Should be okay. Pile is. If I reverse the pile. Hold up. Let's do it this way, because I'm a little bit skeptical at the moment. Nope, still wrong. So this is supposed to be reversed. This list is 2 of clubs. That should be on the bottom. So if I do the same thing, let me just take this reverse out. Yeah, it's not doing anything. What is happening? This is extremely confusing. It seems that the reverse function is not working the way that I expect it to. How about this? PK reversed. Okay, that worked. Why is the other not working? Yeah, it's not reversing. I don't understand why. Wait, no, it is. So 7 of clubs. Okay, I'm extremely confused. But let's say I okay, so semicolon L. It's not the same. 7, 12. C12 and ends in C7. C12. So I shouldn't reverse it. Okay. I don't know how I get myself so confused here. All right, so S13, S8, S13, S13, S8, so S8. No. Hold up. Is I'm really confused right now. I'm so confused. I think, is PK writing it up backwards? What's happening? For value in values. Is it taking the list and turning it into arguments and then reversing it? Can't be right. Dude, this is starting to like bake my brain. So let's not reverse it. I can't trust the printing I'm seeing. feel like I'm going crazy here. Something really wrong is happening. Let me just try to articulate what the problem is, because it just doesn't make sense. So when I construct these lists in Scheme, my assumption is that here, this is going to be a D9, right? So this last list is a D9. So right now, I'm not doing anything to the list. I'm not post-processing it by reversing it or anything. You see before and after is relative to this code right here. I'm not changing the pile. I'm just printing the same thing back out again. So this is in reverse, this list. So the D9 is at the end when it should be at the front, okay? That's what I expect to see, but it's not the case. If I go back and try to reverse that, so let's say here we have, that's a 13, I think, or 12, H12 or H13, H13. So before, it seems to be backwards. Now it's not reversed. This time it's not reversed. I have no idea what's happening. Okay, this time, spade of 6 is at front. That's right. This time, spade of 7 is at front. But then whenever I do the lookup, spade of 7 is at the end. How is this possible? How's it getting reversed magically? Is it the fold? Hold up. So who's calling get pile state? Retrieve the pile state, piles from string. I have no idea what's happening. This is like... That's a log that happens once. Let's just not do that. Wait, whoa. I need that. It's like calling that function reverses the list. I don't call reverse in here. Is fold somehow reversing? No. Oh, unless I'm supposed to be using fold right. Does fold do things in reverse? That could explain why things seem wrong. So for my fold, string append string. Okay, so is it because I'm rendering it backwards? Okay, maybe that's what's happening. Is the way that I'm composing the string is backwards compared to what the code shows. So that part's right, but I think this inner part is wrong. Maybe if I change that. That seems pretty wild though. And also that reverse that I do, I should probably leave that out. Oops, let's go right over here. Okay, club of 10, that's right. Maybe that was the problem all along, is I did something really dumb. All right, 10 and 12, thank God. Man, that was a mess. All right, so now the question is, why is it not actually, oh, that's not a valid move, but still, it's not actually getting to a point where, it checks it. So pile versus pile, did it write that out? Found cards, it wrote that part out. Found cards, okay. If source target is pile, I'm gonna end the stream in just a second. I just want to double check this logic because it totally blocked me up. So if source target is pile, and if desk target is foundation, that's all good. Oh, that's wrong. That's where we went wrong here. I need to move that inside. This is the else case. If it's not foundation, then if it's pile instead, I should be using a con for that probably, or a case. All right, let's do one last little run here. All right, so a valid move would be the 10 of clubs to the jack. So if I were to say DJ, valid move from pile to pile, okay? And if I try to move, let's say, this A to the 8, if I move S to A, invalid move, okay? What about the jack to the queen? Because that's invalid even though that the rank is okay. That would be J to L, invalid moves. That's a, wait, what, club of 10? No, that's not the right index. 0, 1, 2. Huh. L. What is L? Diamond of 10. C. Clubs of 10. Huh? Whoa. Okay, something is wrong. Am I not clearing the selection state? Is that what's happening? I'm probably not clearing the selection after the move is done. That would make sense. Move card. Yeah, okay, so set current selection none 0. We should be good now. So let's try 3 onto 4. That would be L to S. All right, so that's a spade of 3 and a heart of 4. Okay, so what about a this 8 to the 9? That would be K to A, valid move. What about A to K? Invalid move. So a club of 9 to a heart of 8. All right, cool. So I think that at least the logic works. We can't represent the move or actually change the game state yet, but at least we're able to check it. Man, what a mess. A lot of wasted time there. All right, so what we need to do to actually make this real in the end? We basically need to take the top card off of one stack and put it on the other, and then the UI needs to be updated to gather all the piles. So if I have that, piles from string, get pile state call, piles from string, I should be able to reset them, actually. What if I do that? Can I just like, wait, hold on. Draw the piles. This is happening where? Where's that add event listener? Okay. Let's see if that works. I'm actually curious whether this is going to be a huge snafu. So is there a valid move here? No. Let me just try something anyway. No. Okay. Can I quickly implement a move? If I were to do that, let's say if I do move from pile to pile, we judge that it's a valid move. So, pop card, push card, and the dest. Yeah, because that's the current selection. So if I pop that card and push the card, but I have to do a similar logic as find card, which is not so great. So vector set piles. Okay. That's good enough for right now. And then push card, selection card. Okay. Let's just delete that. Need a way to generalize this. Okay, so then const card onto the vector ref. And those need to be bang functions. Now let's see what it does. I hope it works, because then at least it means we can do something. Refresh one more time. I can move nothing in this one. What about this one? 5 to 6. So let me try to move. That would be L to D. Oh, it worked. This one didn't get popped, but that actually did get moved there. Let's try that one more time. Looking for another valid move. 2 to 3. So if I move S to semicolon. Okay, so it does put that there, but this card doesn't get popped off correctly. Let me see why. Pop card source. Piles, selection index, selection, vector ref, piles. Oh, let's do a cdr on that. Okay, that'll work. What do we have here? We have nothing. We have this one here, 8 to 9. So an S to a K. No, S to J. Boom. Okay, so that worked. That moved. We also have the 2 to 3. I wonder if this is going to render correctly or if it's going to blow up. Let's see if I move A to L. Oh, sweet. Okay. Anything else? 6 to 7. So semicolon to D. Boom. Okay, so we can't actually move like substacks. We can move the top card around. That's working. I think that's a good stopping point. At least we know that the basics are working after that little mind melting bug we had to fix. So tomorrow, what we'll try to do is getting things moving to foundations, which should be a lot easier now that we've got the basics working. Also drawing cards from the stock and maybe moving stock cards down to any of the stacks below. We've got the basic framework now, so I think that the rest of that shouldn't be as difficult. We also need to transmit state of this part of the deck as well, or the board. Probably I just need to do the same thing. Make the whole state of the board probably should just be getting pulled in from this call. And so instead of get pile state, it's like get board state, and then we just decode that and put everything on the screen. That's okay. I mean, that's a better way to keep everything in sync instead of having to like depend on client side logic. So anyway, pretty good progress. Not as much as I hoped, but we got some logic working, so that's good. I think that the foundation is there, so we can keep moving. Cool. Well, thanks a lot for being here again today, folks. I really appreciate it. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get some more things done, and we'll see you next time. Till then, keep it creative. We'll see you.